I know now that most people are so closely concerned with themselves that they are not aware of their own individuality. I can see myself, and it has helped me to say what I want to say in pain, by George O'Keeffe. That quote means that people are so caught up in trying to be like other people that they don't realize their own uniqueness. George O'Keeffe has, and she used that to paint. Take a look at this painting. You can tell her uniqueness in it. It is called Lake George Autumn. What can you see? I can see some line in this piece, can you? These lines are soft, slurred, wavy lines. How do you think that affects the mood and feeling of this painting?
I think it kind of makes me feel calm because there's no, certain line in it.
Yeah, it makes me feel relaxed and calm because there are no because there are soft lines. This piece is in the season of fall. It feels like fall because this painting has colors like red, orange, and yellow. These are all warm colors of the trees, like in fall. There's also little cool colors, green, blue, and brown, in the trees, the lake, and a little in the mountain. I wondered what the piece would look like if I changed these elements, so that's why I created my interpretive piece. Can you see how the lines are bold and intense in this piece? Do you think it changed the feeling of this piece? Yes, in my opinion, my interpretive piece has no calm fall effect to it, because there are no soft lines. Now, let's take a look behind the scenes at the artist who created this piece. Growing up on a farm in Wisconsin, George O'Keeffe explored many things, from horses to flowers, and grew to appreciate them. Later in her life, when she was about 10, she discovered she wanted to be an artist. So she traveled around the country and moved to many art schools. In 1916, she met Alfred Stieglitz, and he displayed some of her artwork in his gallery. They grew very fond of one another. In 1918, Stieglitz asked if George O'Keeffe wanted to come and live with him and his family in New York, and she agreed. So that fall, they went on vacation together to Lake George Autumn and continued to go there each year. In 1924, they married, and shortly after, in 1927, she painted Lake George Autumn. But it doesn't look exactly like this photo, does it? No, it doesn't. This is a quote she once said. I had to create an equivalent for what I felt about what I was looking at, not copy it. How do you think she was feeling at the time?
I think she was feeling really peaceful and just kind of taking life in.
Yeah, I think she might have been excited, maybe sad, maybe happy. Her feelings were blurred, don't you think? Can you see the excitement?
Yeah.
Can you see the blurriness? Why can you see it? Because she put her feelings into her artwork. If you take a look around the gallery, she traveled to New Mexico in 1929. Can you see a difference in her artwork? And there's some over here too. Yes, it's a little more abstract. Why is it abstract? Because her feelings changed. Or maybe let her style change. She was experimenting and she saw the world in a different way because of her trip to New Mexico. The artwork in this section is in the style of modernism. Modernism. Just by hearing that word, what base word can you take out of it? Modern. Correct, modern. Modernism was very new and people were not yet comfortable with it because it was modern. Modernism is not at all like realism, and I know what you're thinking. Realism is art that is created of exactly how it looks. Portraits are an example of realism, and are a picture of a person. You see, back then they didn't have cameras, so painting a portrait was one way of capturing the moment, or a couple of moments because it took hours to paint a portrait and capture every little detail. Portraits were done before the 1850s, but in the 1850s, modernism was starting. You see, abstract and modernism are not like a picture, because they started to have cameras, and So they created the art. There was no use in creating a painting the exact way it looks because there are cameras now. So people created art the way they perceived or thought it to be. Georgia O'Keeffe was into painting a mix of realism and abstract. In the beginning of her life, when she and Stieglitz just got to know each other, she painted realism. But later in her life, when she traveled to New Mexico, her style changed to abstract. As you can see in Lake George Autumn, she started out painting realism. She put all of her feelings and emotions into that one piece using the elements of line and color. I'd like to leave you with a few words from Georgia O'Keeffe. I found I could say things with words and with shapes and colors that I couldn't say any other way. Things I had no words for, by Georgia O'Keeffe.